Jimmy Kimmel wasn't cancelled.
The left are currently up in arms because they're claiming that Jimmy Kimmel was cancelled, and I don't think he was, at least not politically anyway. The casus belli...
I'm so over the late night TV host era, the midwit, boomer, millennial chungus slop, people that are incapable of forming their own thoughts, so they need a puppet to tell them what and how to think. Imagine that.
For this cancellation, quote unquote, is Jimmy Kimmel just lying on TV to, well, I would say millions of people, but it's not.
For those of you who don't know, Jimmy Kimmel just got pulled off air, yoink, because he had a monologue about Charlie Kirk and the assassination, and said MAGA is currently doing everything they can to convince themselves the shooter wasn't one of them, which is factually incorrect. And you can't lie on national television.
To that, to his audience, he literally came out and claimed that the assassin of Charlie Kirk was someone who supported MAGA and Donald Trump.
That's right. You see what I just did there? I gave you context in real time before we even arrived at that point. That's because we're cracked here at Third Eye Global. Kick.com/Philion. I live and breathe this shit 7 days a week.
There's no evidence for that. The evidence all suggests the opposite, actually. They seem to be an extremist left-winger, and they seem to hate right-wingers, and in particular Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk was there. Apparently they provided an opportunity. This is the best information that we have at the moment.
How am I supposed to feel bad for a literal multimillionaire with a shitty show that I never watched? Yeah, I think he'll be all right with his... Do I even want to know how much he was paid per year? Yeah, 15 to 16 mil per year. Now, I will say, I actually met Jimmy Fallon, the yin to the yang, the other Jimmy. He was a nice guy.
On the circumstances. And this was all available when Jimmy Kimmel decided to go out and say, no, this is a MAGA shooter. What this was the product of a left-wing echo chamber. The first thing they did is go, oh, Utah, his family's Republican, therefore he's Republican, therefore he's MAGA, therefore this is red country, therefore this is a right-wing shooting of Charlie Kirk. It was a groyper. But the thing is, the groypers don't actually hate Charlie Kirk. They used to troll Charlie Kirk for being basically soft right, but they don't hate Charlie Kirk. The left did hate Charlie Kirk because he would get in their faces, he would debate them, and he would, in many cases, make them look ridiculous, and they would go away seething, and he became a hate figure in their community.
Seethe and cope, libtard. Bro just debated college kids with the most middle-of-the-road, trad, conservative, Christian values and political ideology, and it melted their brains.
And so Jimmy Kimmel parroting just lies, unsympathetically as well, I have to say. I didn't find it to be a very sympathetic portrayal. Has been used as a pretext to suspend his show. But I don't think it's really the reason that his show was suspended. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, Donald Trump said TV networks who oppose him should maybe lose their licenses. Okay, yeah, Donald Trump says a lot of stuff. You remember he was about to invade Canada and annex Greenland.
Charlie Kirk was incredibly useful to groypers. They valued him highly as a means to platform real and true takes opposed to pause-right MAGA takes.
And turn Gaza into the Riviera of the Mediterranean. Like, Trump says a lot of things.
First, they came for James Corden, and I did nothing. Then Stephen Colbert, and I did nothing. Then they came for Jimmy Kimmel, and I did nothing. And when they come for Jimmy Fallon, guess what I'm going to do? Nothing. I just think that these TV hosts are husks. They're shells. I don't know the true person. There's no parasocial relationship. They are entertainers. They are mouthpieces for boardroom meetings, comedy writers. In doing so, they are merely an abstraction of ideas. They are not their true self. Philion speaks of this.
But that doesn't mean that he does a lot of things, often, to people's disappointment. And so Trump knows he's saying this, right? He knows what he's doing when he sort of drops these little bombs on people and then they're running around and then he's getting on with whatever it is he wants to get on with. He's a veteran at this. And you've got lots of articles like this, like Slate, The Guardian, Independent, blah, blah, blah. It goes on and on, of left-wing media who are just like, oh my God, this is a five-alarm fire. Trump will not be satisfied until every media outlet becomes more conservative and obedient to him, rather than being more liberal and obedient to Joe Biden. I mean, literally, Biden was getting people deplatformed from social media by requesting it from the administration. And there has to be a court injunction to prevent him from doing this. But Trump says, well, I just don't.
They're an abstraction of political interests and donors. Yeah, they're useful idiots.
Think you should be able to do this. You're very mean to me, and you always have been. And let's be fair, he's not wrong. The media has been almost universally against him since day one. And
they're the epitome of safe edgy. But that extrapolates into the most normie, non-confrontational / inflammatory discourse.
Completely uncharitably as well. I'm not surprised that this is an opinion he holds, but nothing really happened. And you're panicking over nothing because I'm going to show you why Jimmy Kimmel was fired. You have Conan O'Brien and all the other late night hosts going, oh my God, oh, this is wrong, and anyone with a conscience knows it's wrong. I mean, really,
It's me, Big Dick Bill Maher. I'm the cool uncle. I just think the libs have gotten a little too crazy. Get me out.
About numbers, right? And it's about the fact that actually you guys aren't quite as popular as you think. And the numbers are in, and we know this, and I'm going to show you just a comparison using my YouTube channel. Stephen Colbert.
I'm not listening to anyone unless they're a philosopher king with a warrior spirit.
I was like, well, we're all Jimmy Kimmel, as if he'd been shot. Colbert, you remember himself, is on borrowed time because he's going to be cancelled as well. And so he's taking a stand for Jimmy Kimmel. And it's like, okay, but like he did say something that was demonstrably untrue, deliberately so. But again, this isn't really about free speech. This is really about your time in the sun is coming to an end.
Yeah, there's a stipulation with defamation or libel and slander where you say something knowing that it was not true. I mean, all news reportings and journalists were aware of the fact that it would be intellectually dishonest to label the shooter as MAGA.
And then you had the shitlib class. Now, Chris Hayes is honestly what I'd expect. I mean, he just looks like a lesbian to me, doesn't he?
That's funny, but if you're going to physiognomy check someone, you better mog them. That's all I'm saying.
Right? Like, he genuinely looks like a lesbian. But obviously, MSNBC host, he is as ridiculously left-wing as you can imagine. And he says things like, oh, this renders the First Amendment meaningless when Jimmy Kimmel's fired. But when Tucker Carlson is fired for similar things, like an editorial take that the network didn't agree with.
Fuentes believes Milo birthed that rumor, by the way. Crazy if true. The rumor specifically that the shooter was a groiper. A lot of people are using these current events as ways to disseminate information that is not the truth. And it's really sketchy.
He believed he could say anything, no matter how disgusting, and get away with it. Over time, that's not going to work out well for you. So
we're talking about ideological warfare, weaponizing misinformation against political opponents.
Totally fine. It's totally fine. And my God, are there 1,000,000,001 hypocrites out there on this, on the left? Because remember, the left were for
Harry Sisson. Was he part of the dark money web network that we discovered from that Wired article? Could be. Not quite sure. What I do know is that Gen Z leftists on social media are most definitely industry plants. Hey, I came out of nowhere and I'm saying exactly what a group of people wants to hear. I don't trust it. I don't trust Zoran. Don't mess with the Zohan Mamdani. Where do these people come from? You see, my elitism on the internet is earned because you can go back, sort by oldest, and see that I was making fitness vlogs, and then commentary, and then docs. There's an evolution. You can point at any given point in time and say, yeah, Philion was doing that. These people spawn in from nowhere. And they're funded off the rip.
Deplatforming when they thought that they were the ones doing it. When Donald Trump was getting his account suspended, when all of the other people, oh, the God, did they love it. But we're witnessing a brazen attack on free speech from Elon, Trump, and MAGA.
Crazy how Philion went from natty or nots to geopolitical philosophy. Yeah.
He said that they were free speech warriors. Well, you aren't the free speech warrior. And now, after years of getting punched in the face, the MAGA guys are like, yeah, we don't care. We don't care about your free speech anymore because you didn't care about ours. Free speech is basically game theory, right? If both people do it, then it works just fine. But if one side decides to start, you know what, I'm going to censor you, then the other side has to abandon it as well. That's just the way it works. It's just stock game theory. It's essentially some sort of like suicide pact. Either we both have free speech or no one has free speech. You don't get to have free speech and then demand the opponent has no free speech. That's not how it works. You know that.
Also, that's not what game theory is. Bro's British. He can't even say his full mind without getting thrown in jail.
That's not how it works. You know that we know that you know, so shut your fucking mouths, honestly. Just the irony of all of this. Oh, they're gathered outside of MNC. Oh, grow a spine. Don't cancel Jimmy Kimmel. This is fascism. Oh, shut up. No, this isn't fascism. This is capitalism. This is you not actually serving a market anymore. And we'll get to it. But I mean,
his ratings were released, and Jimmy Kimmel, if the ratings are true, only had about 180,000. I think the bracket was 24 to 35 viewers, which is very, very low in terms of linear programming, aka television. Granted, a majority of his audience is much older, as you can probably imagine.
Yeah, everyone. There's always a tweet, because when they thought they had the reins of cultural hegemony, that when they controlled the media, when they controlled the social media platforms, they controlled the corporations, and they control government, oh my goodness, they were in favor. I mean, this was during Trump's tenure, but they control a lot of other things, and they were totally in favor. They were totally in favor.
Cancel culture is cool when it's people we don't like, but when it happens to us, that's fascism.
They're speaking directly to me.
Here at Third Eye Global, we can't get fucking canceled. We exist outside the paradigm. Many such cases.
Millions without any oversight or regulation. It has to stop. His Twitter account should be suspended, says Kamala Harris. Yeah, we know. We know that's what you think. You are in favor of deplatforming those people who you don't like, who speak against you, because you get your ass kicked by them, frankly. That's why. When the right is actually able to communicate, the left gets BTFO'd repeatedly. And we know it because you're busy stealing right-wing memes about Jimmy Kimmel at the moment, as if he'd been shot. Like, get a grip, you fucking losers. And then you get this, and this is, I think, probably...
TikTok owned by a right-wing conglomerate, Twitter owned by a Nazi, every TV station bending the knee, anyone who doesn't follow directives getting sued into silence. America has never been great, but we at least had free-ish speech. What will we have left after this? So for those of you who don't know, TikTok was just purchased in the U.S. by Andreessen Horowitz, along with other investors, as right-wing conglomerate. And this is just fear-mongering. Calling Elon Musk a Nazi.
Probably my favorite example of anything ever. This is probably, I think, the greatest Twitter thread you've ever seen, right? TikTok owned by a right-wing conglomerate. Twitter owned by a Nazi. Every TV station bending the knee. Anyone who doesn't follow directives getting sued in silence. America has never been great, but at least we had free-ish speech. What will we have left after this? And everyone's like, my brother in Christ, you literally wrote a book called The Case Against Free Speech.
What? What the fuck? I gotta write a book called Skill Issue. Chapter 1, Get Good. Chapter 2, Cope Cringe Continuum. Chapter 3, Get Your Bag Up.
All of the people replying to this, just like, this is you. You fucking... Like, the arrogance and hypocrisy of it is just... Oh, God, it's mind-blowing, isn't it? But it's just like, right. These people are shameless, absolutely shameless, They will deplatform you and write an entire book justifying why you should be deplatformed. Because for them, Stefan Molyneux tweeted, he was like, look, for me it's power, for them it's principle.
This you got to be the best retort ever.
Right? And it's very much the, what was the South American dictator? My friends, everything. For my enemies, the law. Right? It's exactly descriptive of how they are. Oh, now they're not in power. They're like, oh God, we're going to get this used against us. Oh, that's going to be rough. Oh no, I can't believe we don't have free speech. I can't believe we were relying on MAGA for our free speech. It's like, yeah, well, too bad. You decided to break the game. It was literally, like I say, a suicide pact. Either you both have free speech or no one has free speech, and it's about power now. And you made it about...
Yeah, my book would only be 3 chapters. I don't want to bog down the information. It's quite simple, actually.
About power. You made it about power. And so, okay, just, hey, P. Meskowitz, fuck yourself. Absolutely fuck yourself, right? And people are pointing out, well, hang on a second, he actually did violate the FCC regulations here, right? This rule prohibits broadcast licenses or permittees.
Alex Jones got deplatformed because they said his words led to the Sandy Hook family getting harassed. How is mocking Charlie Kirk's death any different? It's not. In fact, I've seen that parallel brought up on X.
He's from broadcasting false information concerning crime or catastrophe. If the licensee knows this information is false and the information was known to be false, it is foreseeable that the broadcast of the information will cause substantial public harm, which it is.
That would mean Charlie Kirk's wife could sue them for $1 gazillion.
And broadcast of the information does in fact...
3 chapters? How about 3 words? Lock in, buddy.
Does in fact directly cause substantial public harm, which I think it is. So actually, there is a legal argument, even though no legal action has been taken. And just to be clear, The Guardian tell us that the FCC haven't actually done anything other than talk. So, again, the FCC are the regulator for this. And Trump did put a guy called, where's his name? Brendan Carr, right, in charge. And that's fine. That's his prerogative as the president. And Carr said, look, broadcast licenses are not sacred cows, and he would seek to hold companies accountable if they didn't operate in the public interest, which, honestly, is something that has to be done. I mean, good God, we have huge amounts of regulation in this country. Like, Ofcom is treated by the left as a fucking god, right? So don't complain in America when this happens. But anyway, since Kimmel's suspension... Carr said that Kimmel's comments were not jokes, but rather attempts to directly mislead the American public about a significant fact.
2 crimes being committed here. He's not funny, and number 2, he's factually incorrect. At least give me 1. Be funny and wrong, or right and lame. You can't do both.
Totally true. Totally true. Right? But that's it. The commission itself hasn't directly sought these actions from broadcasters, as in the...
So he was dropped by the network, not the FCC. The FCC has a right to uphold the status quo in terms of what is broadcastable, in terms of if the information can create harm and mislead the public, but the network is the one that actually dropped him. Nexstar, a CBS affiliate operator, which first said it would not air Kimmel's show on the local channels it owns, wants to buy Tenga.
The company got rid of Kimmel. Well, the FCC didn't go out after them, according to The Guardian, and Carr is instead...
Meaning it's not coming from any U.S. regulatory body. It's the private companies just dropping him. Trump's not behind it.
Publicly that what the commission would do is just not approve mergers for any companies that had diversity policy in place, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. So you're actually not being censored. You're just not being given the keys to the kingdom. And guess what? The Conservatives in charge, they don't have to. They don't have to approve things that you have to request from them. And they didn't come off after you.
I think it's bad optics, especially for shareholder value, stuff like that. I think they were strong-armed into pulling him off the air because of the gravity of what he said.
Persecute you. You decided to get rid of Kimmel because he was shit. And you get, obviously, Barry Weiss coming out and be like, oh, no, the Democrats will do this to us. And it's like, but they've been deplatforming the right for years. They've been deplatforming, literally deplatforming all of us for years. They've been throttling us, they've been demonetizing us. And with Trump himself, they just took him off everything. No due process, no anything else. Ren here. The conservative case for never doing anything in case your political enemies do it, they'll do it anyway. Yeah, they do this. This isn't new. Like, this is the problem with the sort of like centre-right liberals, where they're like, like they begin every moment anew, right? There's no continuity in their minds. Something happens and they're like, oh my God, this is the first time this ever happened. Dev's got this entire problem. Like, this is the first time this ever happened. There's not context.
Trump is 100% behind it. That's what you think? You think Trump made the call, said Jimmy's got to go?
That has led up to this point, and now MAGA's doing it.
I have friends who literally get political information from late night hosts. It's preposterously idiotic. Yeah, I'm aware of the phenomenon as well. The internet is much faster. It's decentralized. It's ever evolving. Late night talk show hosts are static. They're slow. They're biased. It doesn't allow you to work the faculties of your brain that are necessary to synthesize information. There's not enough inputs. So you only get one output.
Oh God, it's the end of the world. Oh, MAGA are the worst thing ever. No. Game theory. You either both have it or neither of you have it. And they chose neither.
He really likes game theory, huh?
So neither it is. It's too fucking bad. But, like I said, this isn't really a cancellation, right? Because actually, if you look at his ratings...
I think Jimmy Kimmel's going to be back. I don't think this is the end of Jimmy. Jimmy never dies, he only evolves.
They're not good. So his ratings over the years have cratered. And in fact, in recent months, they've literally halved. But here you get the second...
What the fuck is game theory?
quarter of the year, right?
And Jimmy Kimmel could always just open up a podcast, get millions and zillions and gorillions of dollars donated to him, be the same shit. He can pull the Tucker Carlson route, have his own network.
He averaged a total of 1.77 million viewers. That's not good, right? That's really bad. I mean, this channel that you are watching right now gets 1.5 million viewers a month, and I haven't got a budget at all. Like, I don't have a budget. I don't have a production staff. It's literally just me.
It's a theory on how your game is. Yeah, that's a game theory.
I sat in my office with a microphone that I bought like, I don't know, 7 years ago or something, and a camera I bought like 6 years ago, and a computer that I bought like 4 years ago. And all of it probably cost a combined total of probably, the camera is pretty good, I have to admit, so probably about £3,000 or £4,000 for everything I'm using to make this video. My God, can I make video after video using all of this equipment? So on a per video basis, say I do one a day, like it's got to cost pennies a day.
Streaming, banging 7-gram rocks, fucking tiger blood, baby.
For me to make videos and post them to this YouTube channel and get 1.5 million people a month. These are unique users, by the way, not like monthly views. Obviously, the monthly views are like 5.5, 6. However many, it depends how many videos are.
Yeah, but these views are not equal. This is a false comparison. Jimmy Kimmel has cultural relevance in a way that YouTubers can't really compete with unless you transcend space and time itself.
But the point is, I have 1.5 million people watching me. He has 1.7, and I assume that this went during the second quarter. It's average per month, right? 1.77 million a month. So, frankly, he's not doing great, right? He's just a little bit better than me, and I could probably get more viewers if I were to put more videos on this channel.
I don't know about that.
Again, we get more viewers on the Load Seaters channel. Like, and again, this is just one channel where in the evening I make a video because I can make some extra money, because I need some fucking extra money because I live in Britain and Keir Starmer is currently screwing me for everything I have. Right? Jimmy Kimmel, in his prime, in his best, is getting 1.77 million viewers. Me on this alternate, just like mini channel, I'm getting 1.5 million. Jimmy, you're fucked. No one likes you.
Yeah, Sargon with the self-glaze.
Your audience has cratered, and that's really the problem, right? The audience for late night television is cratering.
Chat, does that mean I'm more popular than Jimmy Kimmel? Because I get more monthly views than him? I'm at like 2.3 mil right now. I mean, we're on the fucking trajectory of a lifetime.
And the problem is, there is a huge production budget that goes into late night television. Now, I don't know how much Jimmy Kimmel's budget was, right? I actually can't find that information. I guess it's not in public domain. However, we do know that Stephen Colbert's,
I do know that he gets paid $15 to $16 million per year,
is out in the public. Now, Colbert is a bit more of a sort of luminary in these spheres, so I imagine that his budget is higher, but apparently his was costing $100 million.
I mean, chat, look at this, bro. I'm literally more popular than Jimmy Kimmel. Look at all the performative soys leaving the channel. Damn, doing me dirty like that. Look at all these videos being pumped out. I mean, are you kidding me? I'm doing my job. I'm putting the pedal to the metal day in, day out like a 7-Eleven. You could stop by the channel any time and you're still leaving. Third Eye Global always forgives. But we never forget.
$1 billion a year to produce, and it lost $40 million a year. So he was making $60 million out of this $100 million production budget. Now, for me, I couldn't operate a year that way because I don't have $1 million, let alone $100 million. But I couldn't operate for very long at all if I was running something that had a deficit of 40%. Like, whatever, I'd be like, look, we've just got to reduce the budget to whatever you're bringing in order to just break even. I would have to make serious business decisions. I wouldn't be able to pay myself $20 million a year, which is what Colbert is getting. Apparently, Kimmel is getting something like
How? That's preposterous.
15 million. But again, I can't find the numbers publicly, but it's going to be something similar. Now, for example, Colbert only got 2.42 million people in viewership, whereas Kimmel gets 1.77. This is not great, but Kimmel's is probably a reasonably similar budget. It's going to be in the...
Dude, I'm going to be walking shoulders back tonight. I'm literally bigger than Jimmy Kimmel. Holy shit.
Tens of millions, probably something like 50 or 60 million, and his audience numbers just don't really justify it. And so I'm not surprised that they're like, yeah, I think we're going to have to get rid of him. And the thing is, next year his contract was up anyway, and either they would renew it or just not, either renew it or not. And so I think that what they've done is just looked at the price of producing late night television
and realized the juice was not worth the squeeze.
Looked at the shrinking audience, because remember, he lost half of his audience this year. The shrinking numbers of people watching, and just made an economic calculation.
Turns out people prefer to watch a true schizo.
Like, nothing legal had to happen, and nothing legal, as far as I'm aware,
It's just a last straw. Yep, you're out. Get on the bench, Jimbo.
has happened. This is just Trump talking, and the people who produce this show going, this is costing us a fortune. This is costing us an absolute fortune. Why are we doing this? Oh, look, we've got a decent pretext to just get rid of him. So we're not the bad guys.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I don't know if Jimmy's going to make it, guys. You know, times are tough out here. The economy's... See the price of eggs, dude? Is Jimmy going to be all right? He only makes $15 million a year. He's only astroturfed into oblivion. Pray for Jimmy, man.